Welcome back to this week's edition of Vicarious Views, brought to you by EvanBurke.com and the Rude Boy Rundown at 96.3 Ohm Radio. We're here today with world-renowned Matisyahu. Matis, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
This next artist I'm about to bring to the stage is about to give you some alternative, some reggae, some rock, some hip-hop, and maybe even some beatbox. Represent for NYC, a Crusoe VIP, you ain't got a CID. Ladies and gentlemen, show some low country love to your friend of mine, Matisyahu.
When you're down on the ground, but you can't stop feeling. Heart's cut open and you can't stop bleeding. Try to make it right, but she still is leaving. Feel like you got nothing left to believe in. Stop, relax, keep on breathing.
One of the first times that you and I actually linked up was at the X Games. It was either in 2012 or 2013.
Yeah, it was right. It was right outside of where the Kings play, right outside.
LA Live.
Yeah, LA Live.
How do you feel about extreme sports? Did you ever grow up skateboarding or riding a bike or snowboarding? Like, what was your connection to extreme sports?
I grew up in the era when skateboarding was really like alive, like really coming alive. I mean, my first early memories, like the only Hanukkah present I ever remember getting was like this very specific skateboard, Golden truck, Spitfire wheels. It was a Lance Mountain deck. I mean, every piece of it, like I had like mapped out like what I wanted, and I remember the feeling like opening up the paper and like so. And then I have a cousin, my good cousin, who introduced me to reggae music. He's from Barbados and grew up surfing. So I got introduced a little bit to that. Snowboarding, I worked in Mount Bachelor for 2 years.
Perfect.
So I got to ride the backside of Mount Bachelor, and that was really where like I just loved it. So I've never been like hardcore in that, but I've always had my hands into the sports and enjoyed them.
For me, I'd like to know is, how did you get into the art of beatboxing? Where did that first start?
It's funny actually, because like 2 nights ago, a friend of mine came to see me that I haven't seen in like 20 years, named Howie Martin.
Okay.
And this is the dude that's taught me my first original beatboxing.
Perfect.
I was in chemistry class in high school, and somehow he knew how to. He was messing around with it, and I saw him doing it, so I started messing around with it. And then had a lot of my friends, at lunchtime or whatever, would make little ciphers and freestyle rap, and no one never was really good at beatboxing. So I sort of took that on because I wasn't really into rapping then. I wasn't really even into rap music, but I liked the beatboxing.
Right.
And so I started. That was sort of my entryway into hip hop music.
Perfect. You utilized a position you knew was necessary,
Yes.
and were able to take it to the next level. I know we linked up at Cali Roots, and as that being a big festival and a big movement, you've been able to tap into hip hop and reggae, two of those different genres specifically. How does that Cali Roots movement feel to you to be a part of that festival?
I can relate to that whole scene a little bit more than I would had I just been a New York artist, Brooklyn-based artist, because I moved to LA at a certain point, and I lived out there for 4 years. And when I was there, I feel like I really got a sense of the culture and the Cali Roots culture and that California herb-loving, reggae culture and that whole scene, And so I feel like, it's nice to see that grow and then to feel accepted within that scene as well.
Are done. Keeping it on till the day stays strong. Rolling till the nighttime blazes on. All along I keep singing my song. I say this phase is always. Sometimes I get so crazy, but just know that I'll always stay. 'Cause you're my light through the haze.
I know you're a big Phish fan.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience, if you had one, with the Baker's Dozen this year.
Yeah, I went this year. This year was special. We went, I think it was the 10th night, and I was playing an after show. after party across town. So I went, and I was supposed to go with my band, but we half took Delta, half took United. The United guys got stuck; they couldn't
Oh
make
my
it.
gosh.
So I had extra tickets. So my sister came, and my boys, my 3 boys, who were 12, 11, and 6. And it was their first time going to a Phish show. And I had the after show after. So we basically went, and we ended up getting into a box, which is my first experience seeing Phish in a box, you know, at the garden with the bathroom and water right there, and like a couch for
Chips
the
and
kids to
salsa.
sleep.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and,
remember
like, I could
space.
kick my shoes off and not have to worry about like stepping on glass.
Right,
you know, it was
right.
like kind of like a dad version of seeing Phish, but I had like an incredible time, and I stayed like through the encore. And then we come out, and it's like, okay, we gotta beat like the rush, and I'm supposed to be on stage in like a half hour. So dude rolls on one of those bicycles, you know, with the thing in the back. We all jump in the back, bike taxi. We all 6 of us jump in the back, like loaded down. He starts pedaling, and then my friend Shlomo just pops out of the garden out of nowhere, like shirtless, like sweating, and like running, and he catches up with us and pushes the cart from behind, like all the way to the gig. So we roll up to the gig right as doors are opening, and there's a scene coming from the Phish.
Scene, you got a shirtless guy, you got your kids.
Shlomo's sweating
you're
all
on a
over the
bike
place.
taxi.
The kids on a bike. We're like coming from Phish after the encore, like minds blown.
So
And,
needless
like,
to say, that was the ultimate experience.
coming from a Phish show with my friends, my family, my on the road family, my band, my crew, all the people I love, and then playing my own show, and that whole thing. It's like that was a special night for me. We're gonna have another one of those on December 28th at Irving Plaza.
I hope to make it. That's all the time we have today for this week's edition of Vicarious Views. I'm your host, Stephen Pond. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
My mind, be my golden sunshine. It's raining in your mind, so push them clouds aside. Forever by my side, you're my golden sunshine. Reach for the sky, keep your eye on the prize. Forever in my mind, be my golden sunshine.
Manildo really loves you.
Oh yeah, man.
He just cuddled up right up against
Just
you,
like,
just chilling.
just really posted.
Straight up, he's just like, okay, I'm going to bed. I like this guy.